Or I guess it's afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good.
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 Good to see
Great.
everybody here. In the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first of all, my name is Isaias Segala. I am the president of AIAS this year. And just a little bit about myself, I'm a graduate student here at UTA. I'm in my final year of the master's program. And I've been involved with AIS a very long time. I also pursued my undergrad here, and I pretty much was involved since freshman year. So now I'm at the end of my master's degree, so I'm at about 5.5 years that I've been involved with AIS. And each year I've sort of taken on a different role, but this year I decided that it was about time for me to run for president, and here I am. So I'm excited, despite all of the different things that are going on this year. We have a great team, and I'm excited for all the opportunities that we're going to be able to offer all of our members and students here at Kappa. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So just to brief you about what we'll be talking about today, first introducing a little more in depth about what AIS is, followed up with how to become a member, and then we'll talk about some of the events that AIS will be putting on, as well as our other programs, Camp and FBD. So what is AIS? AIS, if you were not aware, is not only an organization here at UTA, but it's actually a national organization with chapters all over the US and also with several international chapters. And the three main focuses of the organization is to promote design, leadership, and service. And we try to do that through as many of the opportunities as we provide, and I'll get into some of that a little bit later. Not only that, but one of our other primary roles as student leaders is to advocate to our faculty and administration here at our school, and just to ensure that the needs are being met and the concerns are being heard of our student body here. So AIS is one of the many voices that you should be able to reach out to and make your concerns heard. We're advocates for you. We also want to enrich the architectural communities both within the school and within our surrounding metroplex. And because UTA is quite a commuter school, we not only have a presence here, but as our members go back to their homes, we also have a presence there in those communities as well. And lastly, to unite those in the architecture program. As you may or may not know, depending on your level within the architecture program, architecture school is quite, it's uniform or universally kind of revered as one of the most difficult majors that you can pursue. And so if you weren't aware of that, our first year students, that's kind of what lies ahead for you. But at the very end of the day, it is quite rewarding. And part of our goal is to unite the students here in the school and give them an opportunity to meet each other, to collaborate, and hopefully develop each other as we move through the program. So next I wanted to talk about our chapter structure. And this is sort of to hopefully erase any confusion. So AIS is the main organization, or I guess the main organization in which we also have Camp, oops, typo, the last one's supposed to say FBD. So AIS, we are kind of the mother organization between these two. And Camp primarily focuses on our mentorship. It stands for the Kappa Architecture Mentorship Program. And that's their focus. And then Freedom by Design, their focus is on service. And we'll hear from both of them in just a moment. But all of our organizations or sub-organizations, we're all on the same team and we're working together. The leaders of those two programs, they're on our executive board. We have the same budget. We all work together and collaborate to manage all of the things that we do. So we're very much one and the same. And I also want to introduce some of the faces of our new executive board. Elections were a little different last year just because we had to make that transition to a virtual platform. But here is everybody within the AIS group. So there's me in the top left corner, Isaias Segala as your president. Next, we have Elizabeth Butler, your vice president, Jessica Martinez, your secretary, Ashley Foster, treasurer, Victoria Hernandez is serving as our graduate liaison and AXP liaison. Diana Hodza is our promotional manager, along with Jesus Rosas. And then we have Trayvon Perry and Karina Mendez as event coordinators. Next, we have our camp team. We have Marcos Crane, who's serving as the director, and Irene Vu and Jacqueline Wen as the co-directors, and Eric Pham is serving as the camp promotional manager. And last but not least, Freedom by Design. Adan Hernandez is serving as the Freedom by Design director, and Judith Peralta is the FBD promotional manager. So before I move on, you'll notice that you'll recognize some of those faces, and then some of those people you have no idea who they are. But to kind of enlighten you a little bit, we have pretty much a board member in every year except first-year students, just because you're brand new here. And I really love that about our team this year, is that we could listen to the concerns of each of the different year levels, because all of us are going through slightly different things, whether it's the course loads that we're working on, or some of us are preparing to get ready to apply for grad school. So all of us, we have different interests throughout the year, and it's good to hear from each of the different year levels and have that sort of representation on our board. So next, I wanted to talk about the benefits of being a member. So, of course, there's the kind of intangibles, which would be the chances to network with professionals. AIS, we work closely with AIA Dallas and AIA Fort Worth, and their AIA just stands for the American Institute of Architects. They're the professional version of the organization, and we work closely with them throughout the year. We have panel discussions where we invite either leaders on their executive boards or professionals that they highly recommend. But not only do we have them, coming in a panel discussion format or in a lecture, we also have them also volunteer to be part of our mentorship program, which we'll hear about when Marcos discusses camp. And so not only that, you also have an opportunity to have a professional mentor as part of being an AIS member. And then lastly, or excuse me, not lastly, but the next, I wanted to talk about meeting new people. So of course, all of the officers are here to talk and chat with you whenever you'd like, and we'd be happy to connect you with any programs or opportunities that we offer. But not only that, our events are geared or set up in a way that we want to also engage discussion amongst each other. Although that is going to take a little bit of a different format this year, especially because with the restrictions due to COVID-19, all of our events are going to be held virtually. So although it's going to be a little different, we still want to provide a platform for you to speak with other classmates or other students in different year levels, because that's one of our primary goals. And as we talked about before, being advocates for you when it comes to speaking with professors, but also giving you a chance to meet and introduce you to some of the professors you haven't taken yet, and professionals, as mentioned in the networking. Then getting involved, we have several ways that you can do so. Certainly the events that we've talked about, whether it's networking, as mentioned before. We also have scholarship opportunities offered through the national organization. And not only that, we also have the opportunity for those, if you're not aware, in order to become licensed, a licensed architect, you also need to submit basically experience hours, and those are called AXP hours. And through our FBD program, we'll be able to offer different opportunities for you to acquire those hours that will go towards you eventually becoming a licensed architect. And also through the national organization, they have several different competitions that you could participate in, whether it's a studio competition, or excuse me, a studio model, renderings, sketches, and photography. There's a long list of competitions that you could take part of. And perhaps the most monetary value that you'll get out of becoming a member is the 20% AISLS discount. And just so you know, generally you could get a student discount at AISLS for 10% off, but becoming an AIS member, you get an additional 10% off with the 20% discount. And when it comes to those final models that you have for studio, 20% off really makes a difference. So this is just kind of the short bullet list of the things that we offer, and you'll see as we continue to talk, you'll see all the benefits that we have. So that brings me to becoming a member. Becoming an AIS member is, I like to think, a rather easy process. The only thing, or the first thing you have to do is go to AIS.org and just create an account where you list your name, your university, and your contact information. The next step is to just be sure that you choose UT Arlington as your chapter. And after you do that, next step is to pay your local and national dues. And this year, we tried, or our board made a decision to try to alleviate financial costs as much as we can. So we bumped our dues down from $60 before to now $55. And after you pay those dues, you're a member. I did want to note, I have experienced myself, and a couple of other members have also mentioned that when they registered, sometimes the chapter doesn't show up and you aren't able to pay chapter dues. If that ever happens to you, just please reach out to us and we'll be sure to help you work through that, because in order to receive some of the, or all of those benefits that we mentioned above, it's important to pay the local dues as well. And I just wanted to show you the AIS website whenever you log in. This is the homepage here, and it gives you access to all the national resources, whether it's information about membership, the competitions that I mentioned earlier. CRIT is the publication kind of avenue that you could take within nationals. And then any other item that you could think about related to AIS, it's all here for you. So whenever you come here for the first time, you're going to click join, fill out your information, and it pretty much speaks for itself after that point. So that's where you'll go in order to register and become a member. So next I want to talk about upcoming and future events, and I'm only in this portion going to discuss the things that are under the general AIS umbrella. We'll also hear from Camp and FBD about their specific programs and events, but right now I want to talk about the general AIS events that we have coming up. So the first thing coming up is our newly brought together podcast, which is currently titled Behind the Walls, an AIS podcast. And the host of this, this idea was brought up by two of our board members, Trayvon Perry and Eric Pham. And they had really expressed an interest in wanting to pursue this platform and engaging our members, which I'm totally on board for. And they want to cover just various topics related to architecture school and the profession. And the first episode, it's going to be talking about intro to architecture school. They'll have some guests talking about their experiences and also sharing their own. And that'll be particularly informative for those who are first and second year students who want a little insight about what lies ahead in architecture school. Oh, and if I didn't mention, that is going to be, the episode will be released next Friday, the 8th, and it'll be on all platforms. So you just need to look for Behind the Walls and AIS podcast. Next is our Architecture and COVID-19 panel. This one was a topic that was brought to us by Victoria Hernandez. She's our graduate and AXP liaison. And she felt that because we're going to have quite a few students either graduating from their undergrad or their master's degree here this semester, and it's a crazy time already. For those of you who managed to get an internship this past summer, you'll realize that you're one of the lucky ones. A lot of firms either had to decrease the work that they were doing. Some firms were having to let go of their employees. So the point of this is to kind of bring insight to a couple of things. The first is to hear from architects who are currently working in the profession and hearing them describe what their experience has been transitioning pre-COVID to now a COVID sort of working environment. Also from firm owners, so they could describe their experiences and what it's been like to manage a business during this time. And perhaps most interestingly is to hear from people who have been let go from their firm or have decided to step away from the architecture profession and have now shifted into a different career path. And I think that that particular perspective is interesting just because with an architecture degree, you aren't limited to solely becoming an architect. You are trained to do so many different things. So I think that's the one I'm most excited to hear about when it comes to this panel discussion. And that one is going to take place September 29th. I think the date here is wrong.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's supposed to be September 29th. So this is the last week of September on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. Another panel discussion that we're going to have, this one's going to be a little bit later in the year, is getting a job interview and portfolio. This is one that we try to do at least once a year because we have various people looking for ways to improve their portfolios all the time. And this one we're going to be talking with, again, some HR people, some recruiters, firm owners, and they're going to talk about what they look for when it comes to interviews and portfolios. And they'll be giving out some tips that day and just telling you how to, succeed when it comes to your job hunting whenever you graduate. And another big thing that AIS does in collaboration with Kappa and other student organizations is the career fair. And this is a great opportunity to take all of the networking that you've done throughout the year, and you'll reach out to people that you see at this career fair and say, hey, remember me? And for those of you who haven't been to one of these before, the Kappa Career Fair typically, well, last year we had jumped from 60 firms to I believe 70. So the entire building is filled with all of these potential offices that you can work in, and being involved is a great way to make that step into snagging an internship or making these professional connections. Before I go into camp, I just wanted to reiterate that most of these, or the first couple of events, they're here in September, and then we also wanted to highlight a couple other major ones that are coming down the pipeline. But there are going to be more events that we have throughout the semester, and we'll be keeping you posted, and we'll be engaging you on social media about that. Alrighty, and next we're going to talk about camp. Marcos, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So hello, everybody. My name is Marcos Crane. I am the director of the camp program this year. For those unfamiliar, the camp program is a student organization, but we're underneath the entire AIAS organization. So the main focus of our individual program is to foster student camaraderie and academic excellence and professional preparedness within the School of Architecture. And the way we do this, we have different events throughout both semesters focusing on different aspects to prepare students for the real world and prepare them for architecture school itself. So you can see to the right, there's the breakdown between camp and camp pro. During the fall semester, which is what we're in right now, we're architecture student life focused. So we have different events introducing students to faculty, to different classes and programs we have. We have different events related to the School of Architecture itself and introductory students who are new to Kappa or architecture school in general. And then the spring semester, we're more focused on the professional side, grad school events. We have firms coming and talking, and we have professional oriented events. And then in our name, the Kappa Architecture Mentorship Program, yes, we put on these events throughout the semester, but the main focus of the program is the mentorship of it. So during the fall semester, we pair up freshmen and sophomores with upperclassmen. So we give them a one-to-one contact, somebody in the school that they can always reach out to for different events, for what teacher should I take? What should I do? What do you think about this project? Give me recommendations on these line weights. You have a contact all year long, all semester, all through school if you keep that connection going. Just one-on-one with somebody above you, a upperclassmen, to help you through the program because they've been through it all and they know how to help you in the freshman and sophomore years. During the spring semester, we do the same thing, except we pair up juniors and seniors and grad students with professionals. So it's the same thing where you can visit their firm, you can get recommendation and advice on grad school and going straight to the job, straight to the field. We give them a one-on-one contact with a professional instead. So we put on different events throughout the semester, but the main focus is that mentorship aspect of it. And if you want to go to the next slide, Isaiah. So this is a kickoff event. What I just said was like very brief summary of our program and what we do, but we have an event on Tuesday, the 8th at 7 p.m. We are sending out a link with sending out an email with a Teams link in it. You can click that link to go to a Teams live event. But in that event, we're just going to have a PowerPoint and talk more detailed about what the program is, what it's offering, and how to get involved, how to sign up to get a mentor or be a mentor for a freshman, sophomore, somebody who wants that connection and help through their journey at architecture school. So I hope to see you there. It'll be a good event, and I hope you apply to be a mentor or a mentee.
Yeah, thanks for that, Marcos. Next, we wanted to introduce Adán Hernandez. He's our FBD director, and he's going to talk to you about freedom by design.
Hello. You can hear me good, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So, Freedom by Design is, a sub branch of AIS. We typically emphasize volunteer work. Our priority as an organization is to improve the safety, comfort, and dignity of those around us. And we do that through breaking the five barriers that we typically see around in our communities, whether that's educational, environmental, social, economic, physical, and cultural. We utilize the skills and talents of architecture students in service to their community. One of our projects that we typically do year round, and in the past 2 years, has been educational outreach. Last year we went to Dan Dippert. In the past 2 years we did ramp builds, Habitat for Humanity. At the moment a lot of that is at a standstill, but we have responded to the coronavirus outbreak. We have been producing face shields behind the scenes. Further down the road, you guys will hear about, the implementation of student volunteer work, but we're trying to work it, implementing the student body in a healthier way. Things will not be done in person, obviously, but as you can see in the past, we've done Habitat for Humanity. That was a lot of fun. The theme for that year was a marvel to end hunger, and we donated, I don't remember the amount, but we were able to make, a Hulk representation out of green beans. And then further along down the line, if it's possible, if Corona allows it, I would like to, restart the ramp builds, Habitat for Humanity, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person. If it doesn't matter what is going on right now in the world, what matters is how you respond. And yeah. And then on the topic of educational outreach volunteer works, City Lab is a high school foundation that they kind of focus on, implementing their architectural knowledge in the response at Trinity River. So an event that they're going to have is the City Lab Summit. During the 2020 Design Summit, professionals from the DFW region and UTA work remotely with City Lab students as they apply design, planning, and environmental science principles. These proposals are done in order to better I believe it is the visitor center and bike rest stop that connects the hike and bike trail system at the bottom neighborhood directly across the Trinity River from downtown Dallas. The 2020 City Lab Summit will focus on the Trinity River watershed as well. A lot of these sessions are going to be done Wednesdays afternoons from 3 to 4:30, and then Wednesdays from 11:35 to 12:15 will be exclusively for UTA individuals. And this was done, just in case there was any time management issues with the 3 to 4:30 time. But if you have any questions with that, just email fbd.uta@gmail.com. And then further down the road, we're going to release links and surveys that they've given to us in order to better, garner volunteers for this specific project.
Yeah, thanks, Adan. And I guess the next thing that we were going to talk about here, or I guess we want to hear from you. So there was quite a bit of information that we have gone through about our organization. So I wanted to give an opportunity for questions and to hear from you all. So with that, are there any questions about our organization, whether it's how to become a member or questions about our mentorship program or Freedom by Design?
I had a question about becoming a member because I tried to go to the AIS website this summer to register to become a member, and I kept getting an error every time I tried to do it. Do you have any thoughts as to why that is? I haven't tried recently, but in the middle of the summer whenever I was trying to do it,
Right.
wasn't.
Yeah, I think the reason for that is the AIS membership, I guess, span or the calendar goes by, your school academic calendar. So by that, it begins at the 1st of September, then it goes all the way to August 31st. So if you're trying to renew in the summer, which is kind of like the downtime of an AIS membership, that could have been why you were receiving that error, because you wouldn't have been able to apply for this year yet. But now, since we're past September 1st, it is now open to everybody. So if you try again, Brennan, it should work. But if you come across any issues, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Isaiah.
No problem. Any other questions?
Once I pay my dues and I join AIAS, how do I specifically get involved with FBD?
So FBD, as Adnan kind of mentioned, there's certain programs that are still in the works, and we've yet to publish, links for you to sign up. But to become involved, just keep an eye out for any messages from us, either through your emails or social media, because we'll be sending out information regularly. And whenever the time comes and those projects are launched, it's just a matter of signing up, and that's how you get involved.
Okay, so it's all through you guys still.
Right.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else?
I had a quick question.
Sure.
I was a member last year, and I was wondering, do you have to renew every year, or is it just continuous?
So you do have to renew every year. That's just how long the membership lasts. And I think that is pretty typical for most student organizations. The only difference that you'll notice this year is that our dues have went from $60 to $55, but it is an annual renewal process that you have to go through. Good question. Anything else?
I have a question.
Sure.
Are there opportunities to get involved on a national committee still?
That's a great question, Nate. I believe the national committees have been closed, but that you did bring up a very good point. Not only does our chapter have an opportunity to be involved at the local level, something that I didn't speak too much about was our national opportunities. And each year, there's two major conferences at the national level. There's the Forum Conference, which takes place over the winter break, and there's the Grassroots Conference that takes place during the summer. The Forum Conference, we've had the chance to send quite a few people the last couple of years, where we've been one of the largest groups to attend. Last year, it was in Toronto, Canada, and then the year before that was in Seattle, Washington. And so they're at different places around the country. And they're really great opportunities. You get to meet students from other schools across the country and across the world. You hear from great speakers from various renowned firms around the world and around the U.S. And you also get the opportunity to explore these great new cities with a bunch of your AIS friends. So that's one great opportunity at the national level. Grassroots is the other conference that I had mentioned, and that one takes place during the summer. And that one is focused more so on leadership, as opposed to Forum, which is a more general sort of design and architecture conference. Grassroots is focused on leadership, and it does a great job at preparing the executive board for the year to come, but they are great for anyone who wants to be involved. This past Grassroots conference, which took place at the end of July, that one was held virtually, just in the wake of COVID and in the best interest of everyone's safety. And it was still, I think we had the majority of our board was able to attend, and it was still a great experience that we all got to take part of. And not only that, it was also great because it decreased the cost of attending the conference. Not only did it decrease the cost of registration, but we also don't have to pay for lodging and for travel. So that made it very great and affordable and accessible to many more people. And I guess the next segue that I'll go into is that here this fall, the Forum Conference is still planned to go on, but it is also going to be held virtually. The host team, it was going to be initially in Chicago, but because it's virtual, it's still going to have the Chicago sort of theme. And all of that information can be found at the AIS website and the national Instagram, which is just AIS.org. So those are some other opportunities outside of committees, Nate, but Nate brought up a good point that as you become involved with AIS throughout the year, you'll see that there's a lot of work that's done at the national level, and they have different task forces, whether it's working on the bylaws of our organization, working on issues of equity and diversity. They also have committees based on studio culture that, regulate how studios are run, and that trickles down all the way down to the individual university level. And membership is another one. So there's all these different ways that you can be involved at the national level. I believe the national deadline had just recently passed. They extended it, but it is now passed again. But as you'll see throughout the year, and as you continue to be involved, there's many opportunities to be involved, both here at UT Arlington, but as well as within the national AIS. Thanks, Nate, for bringing that up. Any other questions? Alrighty, hearing none, I wanted to leave you off with two additional things. The first is, can you all see that? Our AIS Instagram.
No.
Feel free to give us a follow. Oh, do y'all not see anything?
We cannot see anything.
Oh, dang. That's such a bad reveal. 1 second. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sorry about that. So here's our AIS Instagram, simply UTA AIAS, and this is one of the best places to find out all about what we're doing. And this is one of the very first places that will publish new events or sign-up opportunities. So be sure to give us a follow and to keep in touch. The other is our AIS Facebook group. Sadly, we haven't been able to meet in person yet to create a new group picture, but hopefully that it isn't too long before that happens. But this is just another great place to get all same information that you'll see on the Instagram page about things that are going on and how to be involved. So those are two things that I wanted to mention. And if there are no questions, I want to wait one more time. Any last questions before we officially adjourn? Okay.
I actually, well, hold on one second. I actually had one more question.
Sure.
So I believe last year when we got paired with our mentors, that was at the camp kickoff, correct?
Marcos,
Actually, that was
question.
at the, so the kickoff is like our introductory, here's what the program is, how it works. And we send out the applications on the kickoff.
Okay,
The
okay.
pairing day. Yeah, the pairing day will be later this month, and that will be when we pair up individual pairings.
Okay, I must have missed that. I apologize. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
And then
no
your
worries.
new membership dues are due by that time, correct?
For the pairing event for the fall semester camp, we don't, the membership dues are through AIAS. Camp is a sub-organization. We don't
Okay,
have,
so it doesn't matter. It's
you don't
Okay,
have to be
all
a
right.
member of AIAS to take part in the mentorship pairings.
okay. All right, that's
but-
all I wanted to clarify. Thank you.
To clarify one more point, the fall semester, in regards to our AIS or our camp program, since it is a student-to-student mentorship, we want to leave that open to everybody. But when it comes to the professional mentorship that happens in the spring, as Marcos had described, that one is a AIS member exclusive. So you do need to pay your dues by that point. But applications for those, they go out later in the semester. But of course, we would like you to become a member as soon as possible. Any other last questions? Okay, if there are no questions, I wanted to leave y'all with another opportunity to enter our giveaway. If you haven't already, I kind of had the QR code at the loading screen before the meeting, but please do scan this code. It's kind of an entry for the giveaway as well as a chance to just sign in, and that way we can get your contact info and keep in touch. And just as a reminder, the things that we're giving away are a chance to win a Moleskine notebook or a Aisel's $25 gift card. And I know everybody loves free stuff, so please do scan the code. And I'll leave this up as the meeting adjourns, but I just wanted to say thank you all for joining us this morning. I know certainly for me, studio is beginning to ramp up, and I imagine it's the same for everybody. So I know this time is precious in this, 2 hours before studio. So thank you all for joining. Again, please scan the QR code and let us know a little bit about yourself. And I look forward to keeping in touch with you all throughout the semester. Thank you all again.